In the latest twist in the ever-shifting landscape of American politics, former US President Donald Trump has once again thrust himself into the spotlight with a striking announcement. Speaking through his favored platform, Truth Social, Trump declared that he has raised more than $1.5 billion since the 2024 election. The declaration, delivered in Trump's trademark style, is more than just a claim of fundraising prowess. It is a reminder of his enduring hold over a large section of the American electorate, a base that continues to support him financially, politically, and emotionally, despite years of political turbulence. According to the message posted online, the $1.5 billion was collected through a network of political committees, fundraising arms, and allied organizations. The sheer scale of this number is unprecedented for a political figure out of office, signaling the strength of Trump's influence in an era when money remains one of the most decisive factors in American politics. Trump's fundraising achievement highlights his ability not just to dominate headlines, but to convert loyalty into tangible resources. While his critics point to this as proof of political polarization and deepening divisions in the United States, his supporters regard it as evidence that Trump is more prepared than ever for another political battle. Observers across Washington agree that the funds reportedly collected through various organizations and political entities are a clear sign of Trump's enduring influence within the American political landscape. For Trump's supporters, the announcement is nothing short of vindication. They view the staggering total as proof that their candidate remains a political powerhouse who could stage a formidable campaign in the coming years. Many argue that such widespread financial support demonstrates confidence in his leadership, especially at a time when the country remains bitterly divided over issues ranging from foreign policy to domestic crime and immigration. For critics, however, the number is more troubling. Some analysts argue that raising over $1.5 billion reflects the dangerous extent to which money continues to dictate political life in America. Others warn that it underscores a growing cult of personality, one that fuels polarization and prevents political compromise. The announcement, unsurprisingly, has generated a storm of commentary. Political strategists note that this announcement once again places Trump at the center of attention in Washington and beyond. Money has always been at the core of American elections, from television advertising to nationwide rallies, from campaign staff to data-driven voter outreach. Vast sums are needed to fuel any modern campaign. Trump's ability to secure $1.5 billion well after leaving the White House illustrates how central fundraising remains, not only for those currently in office, but also for those seeking to return. Political observers note that with such financial muscle, Trump is well positioned to influence not only his own potential campaign, but also the Republican Party's direction. Funds of this scale can be used to shape debates, amplify key messages, and build a war chest capable of overwhelming rivals. As one Washington insider put it, with over $1.5 billion reportedly raised, the financial backing gives him significant leverage in shaping political debates, campaign strategies, and possibly future elections. Trump's fundraising success also raises pressing questions about his intentions. Is this money being stockpiled for another presidential run in 2028? Or is it part of a broader strategy to cement his role as the de facto leader of the Republican Party, regardless of whether he runs again? Some analysts believe the sheer size of the fundraising haul points directly to campaign ambitions. Others suggest Trump may use it to build influence, support like-minded candidates, and maintain relevance in a party increasingly shaped in his image. Regardless of the precise strategy, the money ensures that Trump cannot be ignored. Whether loved or loathed, his presence looms large over American politics. The announcement also underscores the polarization that has come to define US politics. For one side, Trump is a figure of hope and resilience, someone who defies the political establishment and speaks to their frustrations. For the other, he represents a divisive and destabilizing force whose fundraising prowess only highlights the flaws of America's political system. Analysts say this divide is unlikely to narrow anytime soon. The more money Trump raises, the more he is able to dominate media coverage, framing himself as both inevitable and unstoppable. But with every dollar raised, critics also grow louder in warning about the corrosive impact of big money on democracy. As one political commentator observed, as the political landscape remains deeply divided, this fundraising revelation highlights not only the scale of Trump's resources, but also the continuing role of money in American politics. The political world now watches closely to see how Trump will use the funds. If history is any guide, the former president will deploy them strategically, not only to maintain his personal brand, but also to challenge opponents and shape national debates. Speculation abounds that significant portions of the money may be directed toward digital campaigning, rally organization, and expanding his already powerful grassroots network. Others suggest that Trump could use the funds to support lawsuits, legal defenses, and other initiatives linked to his turbulent political journey. For now, one thing is clear. Observers now wait to see how these funds will be used and what it means for the future direction of US governance and elections. Beyond Trump himself, the announcement forces a wider discussion about the role of money in American democracy. Critics of the current system argue that such massive fundraising totals tilt power toward wealthy donors and special interests. Supporters counter that it reflects the will of millions of ordinary citizens who choose to contribute. Either way, the numbers are staggering. Few politicians in modern American history have managed to sustain such consistent fundraising momentum outside of an active election campaign. For Republicans, the announcement is both an opportunity and a challenge. On one hand, Trump's war chest strengthens their chances in future contests. On the other, it raises questions about whether the party remains too dependent on one man's influence. For Democrats, the announcement is a reminder of the formidable opposition they face. Even if Trump does not run again, his ability to mobilize money and attention means that any Democratic strategy must account for his continued presence. Trump's declaration of raising more than $1.5 billion since the 2024 election is more than just a fundraising milestone. It is a statement of power, a demonstration of loyalty, and a reminder of how deeply divided American politics has become. To his base, it is proof of strength and resilience. To his critics, it is evidence of a dangerous imbalance in the political system. To neutral observers, it is simply reality. Trump remains at the center of the American political stage, armed not only with influence, but with a financial arsenal that could shape the nation's future. And so the question remains, what will Donald Trump do with this immense financial power? For now, the answer lies ahead, but the impact of the announcement is already being felt across Washington and across the nation.